Hey everybody, Plays with Trucks here. We're at the 2019 Acme Show, and I'm here with Jorge Ramos, right? Got that right? Did I pronounce it all right?
Got it right, George or Jorge, whatever you want to do.
VisionONE24.
Vision one, also known as VisionONE24, right?
124, there you go. Well, see, it says 1 and then 24 together.
And 124, right.
So 124.
Mhm.
So get it right, people.
Get it
Don't be
right.
like me.
Exactly.
So we've kind of been looking around some pretty cool models here today.
Right,
Some
yeah.
pretty cool.
Nice quality builds.
Nice quality builds.
Uh-huh.
You're probably gonna take best in show.
Oh no,
with the-
I don't
with the
think
Herbie
so.
bug. Come on, man.
There's a
So
lot
humble.
of great stuff on the
There
table.
is it.
Mhm.
So you want to film an episode of 3 Questions with Scale Model?
Sure, why not?
Okay, awesome. So what got you started in model building?
Well, I mean, when I was little, I had older cousins that would build, and at the time it was so small, you know, they would like stay away, but I would look at them
Yeah.
from far, and then eventually, you know, they gave them off to me, and then I played with them like if they were Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
But you know, when you're a kid, you have fun with them that way. You blow them up with firecrackers
Yeah.
or whatever you want to do. But then as I got older, one of my cousins, female cousins' husband exposed me to NNL East.
Okay, yeah.
So that was a
Big,
big,
yeah.
changed everything for me. I started seeing quality builds on the table. I couldn't believe the paint jobs. And then it inspired me to build better.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I started building when I was younger. But, you know, I could go as far as what my parents will buy me. If they
Oh,
buy
yeah.
me paint, you know, brush, it's not like, you know, I
Yeah.
can get whatever I want. So I did what I could with, but I learned that way, you know? And then, so I did it since I was maybe 12 years old.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you've been modeling for quite a couple decades.
I
2 or 3.
have, well, I started probably that young. Then, you know, when I got my license and everything,
Yeah.
you know, things changed.
Yeah.
Next thing, you're playing with the real cars.
Mhm.
And so I started, I built a Honda Civic to go to car shows
Mhm.
with that,
Yeah.
with my buddies. And then, so the models really took a break, maybe a decade or two. Then, you know, when you get older, you seem to be home more, you know?
Sure,
And,
yeah.
you know, and then next thing you know, you're married, you have kids, and now you
Yeah.
have to find a hobby to
That's
be
right.
home.
Yeah,
So
that's right. At-home hobby.
At-home
Can't
hobby.
be running out to all them car shows anymore.
Exactly. So yeah.
Yeah.
So the models have really you know, kept me home, and it's been a lot of fun,
Yeah.
especially with all the new technology, and
Mhm.
the materials are good, the 3D printing. So many people are offering so much to
Mhm.
the hobby, so that makes it a lot more fun to build.
Yeah, yeah, it does. So you do some pretty trick builds, right?
Mhm.
Where do you feel like you get most of your inspiration for those builds from?
Well, I mean, I'm the type of guy that I'm a gearhead. I like everything. So,
Okay.
you know, I'm not just like stuck with lowriders or hot rods
Right.
or trucks. I like everything. I love lower trucks. I like high trucks.
Yeah.
I like import cars. I like muscle cars. So, you know, anything that looks cool to me, lowered and, you know, modified, it's always been my favorite.
Yeah.
So, you know, I could stare at a bike, you know, a motorcycle
Mhm.
model as long as I could a truck model,
Yeah.
or, you know, so it varies with me.
Yeah, there's
you
some
know.
pretty cool bikes down here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, there's some
definitely
pretty
nice
cool.
bikes.
Yeah. From, you got kind of like the customs,
Right.
you know, and then you've got some drag bikes down there.
Yeah.
You've got some baggers I've seen,
Right,
so,
right,
which is pretty
right.
cool.
Yeah, it's very diverse.
Yeah.
And you know, and me, I appreciate the craft
Yeah.
from everybody. You know, even if it's something I don't build
Mhm.
normally, I'll still appreciate the craft, and
Mhm. Yeah.
I'll look at it just like if it was something that I will build.
Yeah, that's how I am with those military guys.
Mhm,
Like
yeah.
I'm not interested at all in it, but
Right.
man, some of the stuff
Oh,
they come
yeah.
up with in detail.
And it's
crazy.
you know, maybe something that you might be inspired to try something different, get
Yeah.
a break from your normal models, and then
Mhm.
try. Let me just do a tank,
Yep.
you know, and you never know, it might, you know, trigger something to
Yeah.
start building that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
So lastly, just moving forward
Mhm.
from where you're at now, you know,
Mhm.
what do you kind of see yourself kind of dabbling with in the near future?
Well, I want to get into 3D printing.
Okay.
I've noticed that you know, the prices have been a little bit more affordable.
Yeah.
And I've noticed more and more people buying them and having them at home. So I like to dabble into that,
Yeah.
you know, probably learning how to draw in CAD and, you know, design.
Yeah.
And eventually get a 3D printer and start making cool parts,
Yeah.
you know, because there's a lot of stuff out
Blowers
there.
and turbos. And,
Yeah, I mean,
all
there's
kinds of
already
stuff.
that stuff in the market.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like, I'm the type of builder that I like to build replicas of
Mhm.
like real cars.
Right.
Like, let's say I'll get inspired by a Kindig
Mhm.
build or
Yeah.
a Gas Monkey, something on TV. And I love building replicas
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff like
crazy.
that. So, you know, sometimes, you know, those parts aren't available,
Mhm.
those specific wheels. So, you know, with a 3D printer,
Mhm.
you know, the options are endless.
Yeah.
If you can, you know, get
Replicate
that.
those one-offs.
Yeah,
You get that
exactly.
file, spend some time.
Right,
build it,
spend
yeah.
some time. I also like to dabble into getting a mini lathe
Mhm.
and,
Oh, yeah.
you know, machining
Yeah.
some parts, because I tell you, that makes a big difference,
Yeah.
you know? And, you know, it definitely brings the model to a next level.
Yeah.
So
It
I
really
like to
does.
do that as well.
Well, that's cool, man.
Mhm.
Well, I'm looking forward to some of the stuff you got coming out.
Thank you.
Try to keep up with you and everything.
Appreciate it, yeah.
You wanna tell everybody how they can follow you and stuff?
Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel, which is Vision124 George. I also have an Instagram account. It's also Vision124. And on Facebook, you can also find me, and Jorge Ramos or George Ramos on Facebook.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, so it's Vision, the number one is spelled ONE,
Right.
Vision one, and then
Right,
number
so
7.
just to pretty much vision, you know, I just always talk about my vision
Yeah.
on the bottles. And then 124 meaning the scale.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it could be 124, 125.
Yeah.
I
That's good.
pretty much stay within that,
Mhm.
those two. So, but when I first started buying my kits, most of them were the Japanese, the
Mhm.
foreign kits,
Yeah.
and they were all 124
Yeah.
scale. So I just kind of mashed those two together.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, George, thanks, man.
Thank you
And
for
we look
having
forward-
me.
Yeah, anytime,
Yep.
and so we're gonna get back downstairs and see
Right
some
on,
more models. All
right on.
All right,
Take
later,
care.
man.
Bye, everybody.